This segment of Delmarva Life is brought to you by State Farm Insurance.
We've been talking a lot about drunk driving today. It's no secret that drinking alcohol impairs your judgment and your motor skills. You should not be operating a vehicle. But what about operating a vehicle while you're distracted? Is that the same thing?
Well, a new study by AAA found that distraction was a factor in nearly 6 out of 10 moderate to severe accidents involving teenagers. Now, that's more than 4 times the number previously thought. And car crashes remain the leading cause of death for teens in the U.S.
So how do you get through to your teenager? Wyatt Andrews has some sobering statistics.
Never mind the dashboard camera that's taping them, these teen drivers still got distracted. Texting, staring out the window, talking on the phone, or simply talking to each other.
That was my phone.
This young man on the phone looks both ways twice, but then still gets hit from the side. In the study, AAA found that distraction was a factor in 58% of all teenage crashes, a number 4 times the government estimate of 14%. It also found that teenagers using phones take their eyes off of the road an average of 4.1 seconds. Peter Kissinger is the president of the AAA Foundation. Did the idea that there might be people not looking at the road at all for 4.1 seconds scare you?
1 second eyes off the road at 65 miles an hour is the equivalent of driving the length of a basketball court. So just imagine what it is if you have 4 seconds.
Eyes off the road is what killed 17-year-old Sydney Williams, who crossed the median and flipped her car on a highway in Ohio. Her father, Brock Dietrich, still blames himself for the example he had set.
I used to text while I drove, so I really live with the guilt that Sydney learned texting and driving from me, and that's what cost her life.
The federal government tried to sound the cell phone alarm last year with this national ad that was designed to be realistic and disturbing. AAA says that states should do more to prevent distracted driving, but learning safe behavior, they say, starts at home.
The parents can enforce a restriction on the number of passengers that their teenager drives with. Their parents can ban cell phones while they're in the vehicle.
Wow.
The government is attempting to ban texting and driving throughout the country. As of right now, handheld cell phone use is banned in Delaware and Maryland, but not Virginia. Texting and driving is banned in 45 states, including all 3 here on Delmarva, and there are bans in many states on young drivers using a cell phone in any capacity. Those are in effect here on the peninsula.
Well, one young girl leading the charge against distracted driving is Liz Marks of Easton.
I'm telling you right now, one text message will end your life or make you get into a serious car accident.
Liz was critically injured in a crash less than 2 months before she was set to graduate high school back in 2012. She looked down to read "okay" in a text from her mom, and she wasn't able to react to the tow truck trailer in front of her. She nearly died.
But now she's made it her mission to put an end to texting and driving. As a matter of fact, Liz is why we wear green. It was the color used to mark the accident scene during the investigation. It now serves as a visual reminder to never text and drive.
Well, sometimes your teen may need a visual reminder or something more effective than that. How about an app that would allow you to have full control over their cell phone while they're behind the wheel? Texting while driving is dangerous. Experts say your attention is taken off the road a minimum of 5 seconds while texting. At 55 miles per hour, that's the time it takes to travel the length of a football field. State police say texting and driving is a leading cause of distracted driving-related accidents.
I can't drive down the road without seeing somebody texting and driving. And in fact, over 50% of people driving have admitted to texting while driving, and that's something that we really need to eliminate.
Wayne Vicknair and Michael Watson developed a new cell phone app to prevent teenagers from texting behind the wheel. Michael got the idea after listening to many of the customers at his body shop.
They'll confess to me that they were texting and driving, or even the parents will know it, and they'll say, see what happens to your brand new car because you're texting and driving.
Parents can install the Text Guardian free app on their teenager's phone. When a vehicle reaches a certain speed, most cell phone functions shut down.
They can't text, they can't Facebook, they can't do selfies.
The phone still allows calls to 911 and 3 pre-stored numbers.
But if they try to delete the app, it automatically text messages mom or dad.
Wayne and Michael hope the app saves lives. Trooper Dustin Dwight says it could also save you money.
If you're involved in a crash, the fine could be doubled as a result of texting and driving, and you could also get that moving violation as well.
Now, right now, Text Guardian is only available on Android and Windows phones. Developers are working on iPhone versions, but that release date has yet to be determined.
The National Highway Traffic Safety Administration has determined that Memorial Day begins the 100 deadliest days for teen drivers. That means along with preparing for prom, graduation, barbecues, and family gatherings, you've got to talk to your teen about being safe while driving. So, joining us today to help is State Farm Insurance agent Gamey Elliott. Gamey, thank you so much for
Thank you for
coming in
having
today.
me.
So, this is a difficult time. Are there things that we can do to prepare our teen?
There are a lot of things that we can do to help our teens out. One of the first things that you can do is make sure that they always have their cell phone charged ahead of time. And then also just make sure that they have checked the mirror before they go, that they're not applying makeup or trying to straighten their clothes or hair. So it's good to be prepared ahead of time. Other things that they can do to eliminate distractions is ask them to put those cell phones away and also to turn that music down. I know they want it loud and everything, but there are enough distractions when you're just trying to drive a car.
Yeah.
The other thing that they can do to really help out is try to restrict the number of passengers that are in the car. The Insurance Institute for Highway Safety basically says that there's a dramatic increase in the amount of teens that are involved in accidents for every teen that piles into the car. So it's really important to try to limit the number of passengers that are in the car.
Okay.
And then also another thing you could consider, especially if you're having a prom or a special event, is to hire a chauffeur.
Right.
That way, you know, nobody has to drive and they're safe. But if that's not in the budget, borrow somebody else's cool car and offer to drive them yourself. So that's also a fun thing that you can do.
And as we've heard, it's so important to have a dialogue with our children. You can't say that enough, can you?
You can't say that enough. Talking about drinking and driving when you're a teen and keeping those lines of communication are very important. Not only that is along with drinking and driving and how important it is not to do that is avoid drowsy driving as well. That's almost as serious. They have determined also through the Insurance Institute of Highway Safety that driving drowsy is just about as bad. So if they're out late at night, say at a prom or anywhere else, offer to pick them up and bring them home. Don't have them driving tired, as well as watching the drinking and driving and anything else. And then as far as other things that are concerned is just always remember the good habits, things that the basics of wearing your seatbelt and obeying the posted speed limits. Those are important things that they can do. And if they form these habits early in life, then we hope that they keep them throughout their adult life as well.
It's not about the parent being in control.
It's not always about the parent being in control. You really have to emphasize the fact that you want your teen to drive aware of what's going on in their car, around their car, and other drivers that they're coming into contact with.
So that they're safe.
Yes, so that they're safe. Safety is so important, and by parents reinforcing these things with their teen, I know they feel like they say it over and over again, but we can't say it enough. It begins at home with those conversations with parents.
And those conversations should involve laying out the rules, clear rules.
Yes, clear rules so that they know what the boundaries are and they know what to expect. And right up front, you know what the rules are so that you can follow those. Safety is the most important thing we can pass on to our teens.
Right. So once nights like prom and graduation are passed, we can keep them safe, right?
We've got to do everything that we can to try to keep them focused on their driving. There's so many distractions that can come ahead of time, but you really need to do whatever you can to focus on safety, drinking and driving, you know, avoid distracted driving, all those things that will contribute to helping form the safest teenage driving that we can get.
And distracted driving, it is a huge problem. Our teens are distracted. We can talk to them about that too.
Yes, it's very important to talk to them because really when it all boils down, it's the distracted driving for not only teens but for everybody. We get too distracted. We really need to focus in on our driving habits.
And it's not just about the driver. Passengers need to be good passengers.
That's right. A lot of times there's something that happens in the car that draws them away from their focus on driving,
Right.
whether it's conversation, cell phones ringing, other things that fall over in the car, people talking on the back seat, all kinds of different things can happen. You really need to make focusing on your driving a high priority, not only for teens, but for adults as well.
And remember to steer clear.
Steer Clear, that's right. That's a program that we have with State Farm that helps teens focus in on steering clear of any trouble that they might have and to steer that steering wheel clear of trouble. So,
Jamie Elliott, thank you
Great.
so
Thank you.
much.
Thank
and
you.
if you'd like to learn more about State Farm Insurance and keeping your child safe on the road, visit WBOC.com. Click on our picture at the top of the page.
Well, now that we've covered getting to prom safely, what about how you're going to afford everything it takes to get there? Up next, we're going to learn about an organization helping young men and women look and feel great for prom, how a few simple clicks could save you hundreds.
Plus, save an hour this week for Person of Interest right here on CBS. Later, how the crew is taking the show to a whole new level. Delmarva Life, we'll be right back.